methodical, quick, precise ability of Japan, picking and choosing moments to press Brazil here.
Here is Ritsu Doan for Japan, who is surrounded by yellow. Japan looking to apply the press. A free kick has got against them.
And you know what? This is a good sign for Japan, because you are going to have a number of moments here today where you're pressing the Brazilians higher up the field, try to get that to lead to immediate chances here. You're not going to sit on your 18-yard box for an entire game against Brazil. Obvious foul there, good shielding of the ball by Lucas Paqueta.
Brazil looking to switch the play to 19-year-old Ryan. Guimaraes, Danilo, the flick from Casemiro. And pinched back by Guimaraes. The shot is deflected wide for a corner, and straight away Guimaraes whipping up the fans here.
Name of the game. Press. Put people under stress and duress. Leads to immediate chances. You see it here from Brazil. They basically did exactly what Japan tried to do. Led to a quality chance. But Brazil's a little bit more of a vertical team now as well. And a pressing team.
Casemiro in the equation. He's got a lot of headers for Manchester United last season. Guimaraes delivering rather flat, and Ito can head it clear. Well, they have the individuals, Brazil, of that there is no question. But I would argue that Japan are more of a team than they are just now, because it's still very early in the process for Carlo Ancelotti, who was appointed in May of last year. He's previously stated that balance will be key if Brazil are to be successful. Talent alone, he says, is simply not enough.
Yeah, Carlo Ancelotti has been brought here to marry order with individual talent, make this team a little bit more organized.
Pounced on by Maeda. Marquinhos is there to challenge, and the end result is a goal kick.
Maeda is incredibly busy, and you can't sleep on him. He's going to chase everything, and this is just one of the most elegant center backs going.
Hajime Moriyasu, who's been in post now since July 2018, the second coach to lead Japan at 2 World Cups, after Takeshi Okada did so in 1998 and 2010. Guimaraes going to ground, no foul, despite his protests. It was Cunha, rather, I should say. But the assistant on this near side, not interested. This is Tomiyasu. Rare appearance for him. Of course, he's a player who's struggled with injuries over the last couple of years. Former Arsenal, of course. Here's the current Arsenal player, Gabriel. Now lifted over the top by Paquetá. Vinicius Jr. was the target. Suzuki came flying off his line to take evasive action.
Well, that's where Vinny Jr. can come inside and make these angled runs. Very direct from Brazil so far. 3 or 4 balls. Very, very direct, including one from Alisson.
Paquetá, Douglas Santos. Well, both of these teams have scored 7 goals at this tournament so far. And for Japan, it is already their most at a single World Cup.
Yeah, but 4 of them came against Tunisia. They're going to have to score goals today against Brazil. And I don't think one is going to cut it. No one knows. There's so much at stake here. No more safety net, one match. Pretty much anything can happen.
And very comfortable with or without the ball. The statistics would prove that particular fact.
And it was interesting the changes made today, Paul. 2 at the back, 1 in midfield, 1 up front. Changes on every single line here. So these players have to produce. Tomiyasu, Taniguchi, Doan.
Missing some big players as well, let's not forget.
Yeah, some that didn't even make it here due to injury. I mean, you go right to the ACL of Endo.
Toma as well missing out. It's leave it in there by Guimarães, but Brazil bossing the ball in the early stages here in Houston. Vinicius Jr. The challenge goes in from Sano, and the referee took a dislike to that one.
Also, you got to mention Kubo, right, who got hurt. The Real Sociedad winner who got hurt in the first game against the Netherlands. Well, that's a number of really key guys.
Kuni Minamino as well.
Another one, torn ACL, Monaco. Another one that didn't even make it over here. Just heartbreak for those players on teams that just are on the verge of making the final roster and just don't get to the World Cup.
Gabriel and Marquinhos, the two centre-backs, have come forward for this free kick. A lot of air on that one. Well, the goalkeeper came, spilled it, and now has got it.
A couple of Japanese hearts skipping a beat there with Suzuki off his line here. Amazing. He was born in Newark, New Jersey, which is incredible, and he could have represented the U.S., Ghana.
And at 6'3", he is Japan's tallest ever World Cup goalkeeper.
Two excellent goalkeepers here today.
Well, there is Neymar, one appearance at these finals. Of course, torrid time with injuries over the last few years for Brazil's all-time leading goal scorer. You can hear the reaction of the crowd as his image is put up on the giant screens here.
Well, like Cristiano, he's a world celebrity. He got some minutes late in one of the games. What really Carlo Ancelotti is planning to do with Neymar in this tournament, it's hard to know, but it's kind of split 50-50 in the country if they wanted Neymar to go to the World Cup. But he is just so popular and just such a talented player.
Here is Marquinhos to Gabriel. Only conceded one goal between them in 5 starts under Carlo Ancelotti. And just a reminder, for the first time during his reign, he names the same starting 11. He used so many different players throughout qualifying, but it may just be that he's finally beginning to determine what his best 11 may be. Here's Guimarães. Danilo, the Guimarães again. Gabriel. Vinicius Jr.
It's a really good look at the shape of Japan with 5 across the back.
I am switching it. Back it comes to Gabriel. Casemiro, who's without a club at the moment since leaving Manchester United. There is talk that he might be playing here in the States next season with Inter Miami.
Of course, Inter Miami.
Of course. Where else would he be?
Everybody's first take is Inter Miami. I want to get down there with Messi and David Beckham and Jorge Mas and company.
There is Casemiro. What a ball. Danilo in behind. Paquetá in the middle. There's Santos. There's Guimarães. Oh, and he's knocked out Paquetá with that one. Paquetá back on his feet, but no doubt seeing stars for a while now. He took that full on.
Absolute chaos there. It all started off a great Danilo run.
Vinicius Jr. looking to sniff something out. Suzuki getting hands on the ball for Japan.
So we've had a couple of really good examples of how Brazil's trying to break down this Japanese cohesive unit. The big switches are something that have to be on today. You saw Ayan do that. And then you saw Danilo with a fantastic run to get in behind. And he came from a deeper position. So these are things Brazil has to do. And then you got the individual player, which is the best tactic wrecker of all, is simply the individual. And Brazil's got him.
There's Keito Nakamura. who was another of those on target when these two met in October of last year. Hiroki Ito of Bayern Munich. And now Sano of Mainz. Taniguchi, who turns 33 next month, playing at his second World Cup. And Japan just beginning to get a passing move going here. Nakamura, plenty of options in the middle, flicked away. Marquinhos, who got his head on that one.
Here's Japan trying to repress. It's just going to force this long ball. That is a great piece of confidence building time period there for Japan.
Painful one there for Vinicius Jr. And the referee may well want a word with Heishu Sano.
They got him right on the foot. This is a tackle we've seen a lot. Studs are exposed, gets there late. And those are stingers. Those hurt.
Sano goes in the book. Danilo. Can you see Brazil to have taken part in all 23 editions of the World Cup? They reached the semi-final in just one of their last 5 appearances on the global stage.
Again, you saw Vinny Jr. coming into sort of the channel there from the wider position, so he'll show up central. He'll get out wide, try to get isolated. He's having a heck of a World Cup so far. He's really kind of taken the leadership role from the goal-scoring perspective.
Wader looking to bring it under his spell, without success that time. Casemiro. Good ball. Taken by Guimaraes. Good touch from Cunha. And Suzuki puts a glove on there. Brazil corner. Really nice move.
Well, it's 2 straight balls, and that's what Casemiro can do. He can hit the straight ball, and it gets you.
Paquetá laying it inside and only just wide. Douglas Santos, not far away.
Just a great angled run. It's a first-time ball coming for Paquetá, and Cunha just pulls it wide, not by much.
Ito. This is Junior Ito now. Really good feet and taken down. It's also a card. So this is a free kick to Japan. In a position of promise.
Love their response too. Brazil puts pressure on them, gets them back and in their own box for a bit, and then you get a great response from Japan. And now Casemiro has to play this game very, very differently. That's just crunching, dangerous tackle from behind. If they can get Casemiro isolated a little bit without support, this quickness and mobility and quick interplay could be very, very effective and put him in a position like this where he's got to foul people.
Do you have a reputation, Japan, of being strong on set plays? Carlo Ancelotti was talking about that yesterday in his pre-match press conference and how careful Brazil needed to be in that regard. And a few candidates for this one. Koichi Kamada is there. And Hiroki Ito likewise. And Ritsu Doan also. What do Japan have up their sleeve here?
Absolutely, if you're going direct to goal, favors a right foot here, and you see the three-man wall of Japan behind Brazil. It's just to kind of hide the ball and make it a problem for Alisson to react.
And that one is fired straight into the wall by Daichi Kamada. Japan corner.
Positive ball. It's living up to what we thought it would.
Oh. Well, you could make a decent team out of some of the faces in there. Roberto Carlos, Ronaldo, and the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, in attendance for this one. This is a hot ticket, this, in the round of 32. Junya Ito's corner. Brazil able to repel it. Ito down the line for Nakamura, but he has too much of it.
That's a shame because it's an unforced error and you really had this on for a crossing opportunity. Fans from Japan out here in real color today, so is the Brazilian fans, making this just a spectacular match and atmosphere.
And flipped on by Ryan, but Japan back on it. Finished second in Group F. Japan 2 points behind the Netherlands, ahead of Sweden and Tunisia. And they've got some space now to play with. Sano onto Doan. Maeda looking to cross. But found Gabriel in his way.
Gabriel's like a pillar back there, just came out. Comes out of the middle so beautifully. He's athletic enough to do that. Gets a lot of blocks, so important to Arsenal winning the Premier League title.
He was left out of the Brazil squad 4 years ago by Chiche, who said Gabriel was too hot-headed. That's a vital part now of that Brazilian back line.
Look at Alisson on the ball now, the goalkeeper for Brazil. He went through this warm-up that was incredible. He was hitting balls right, left. He did as much with his feet as he did with his hands in the warm-up. It was fascinating. Every type of pass that he's going to have to hit out here, he replicated in the warm-up here tonight. Or should I say this afternoon?
It's easy to forget, but easy to forget. Gabriel. I mean, I don't know what day it is anymore. I just, my schedule is all around football. My appointments I can figure out by what day of the game is happening. That makes sense.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Not that I have many appointments, of course. I'm not that popular, but... Gibberish. Paquetá with Nicolas Santos making moves down the line. It's gone to Vinicius Junior.
Well, they're getting a second defender in and around Vinny Jr., and that's certainly something that everybody tries to do. Now, how well you do it and how you execute it is another story. So far, it's very good for Japan because all their lines are tight. There's a lot of support to each other. They don't get pulled apart much. And it is those times when they get pulled apart that Brazil's got to recognize and go.
Just a reminder, we will play to a finish here today. Extra time, potentially penalties, will be used to decide the winner. We don't have one in 90 minutes. Nakamura, that's going to drop short of his intended target. Santos, Vinicius Junior up against Tomiyasu, thinks in the cross, only partially cleared. Paquetá, gathered by Tomiyasu and cleared.
Ooh, danger averted there. That was a really flat ball, bad choice. And those are the moments that against Brazil, you can't have too many of those, so you're going to get punished. Japan's certainly content being in a situation like this. They're so well drilled, they're so organized.
And it is the same through every age group as well. I've seen a lot of Japan at various levels, and they all play the same way. The ethos runs through every age group.
Yeah, it's been 20 years in the making. It's, Japan, their technical ability, their focus on their comfort with the ball is also such a big part of it, and that's how they bridge the gap sometimes of athleticism and or superstar power. That's what they're trying to do today, suffocate superstars.
And in many respects, Japan facing their mentors here today. Brazilian football's had a big influence on the development of the game back in Japan. It goes back to the early 90s when the legendary Zico went there. Helped at both domestic level and international level. And by the time Brazil won the World Cup in '94, several players were either playing or had played for Japanese clubs.
The Brazilians were a big part of getting the J-League going. There's a good look at Ronaldinho. Oscar.
And Oscar next to him, yeah. Whole series of World Cup winners in the stands today for Brazil.
Just remarkable players with stature. We looked at the list here today, and our eyeballs popped out of our head. The legendary players that are in the building, that just bring an additional aura to this.
Lucas Paquetá. Gabriel. Douglas Santos, who seems to have solved that left back issue for Brazil. It has been a problem area for them. And Cunha pleading for a foul over there that he's not going to get. Not yet, anyway.
But he's trying to turn the corner here. And he's trying to get in behind Sano. It would have been called, it was outside the box anyway.
So we have reached the hydration break here in Houston. Brazil losing possession, but in terms of clear-cut opportunities, well, they're sadly lacking so far, but the intrigue is certainly there. 0-0 so far.
So who we find? It's a local crew. They're legit. They play winner go home. And this crew hasn't got home in 30 years.
For real?
3 kids. Isaac, Lucy, and hold on, what's his name? They start off playing kids their age. They win. They're older kids. They win. Of course they win. Otherwise there's no story. Anyway, kind of changed. The results did it. 30 years. No one beat them. Not a winning streak. That's a legend. Who's up next?
And he just parries that wide. You got a good goalkeeper here. He's got to have one of his better games, if not the best game of the tournament, in Zion Suzuki. I think their danger, Paul, is they got to make sure they don't drop too deep for extended periods of time. I think they're comfortable doing that. I think against Brazil, that margin has to change a little bit and be a little bit more forward thinking.
So hydration break over. And we should We should get goals today. We will get goals today, one way or another, in a stadium that has seen more goals than any other at this World Cup so far, but still no shot on target in this game.
Well, we're trying to pace you with all the goal calls you had to pull off against Germany and Curacao, and then you had Ronaldo and Portugal hitting for a bunch. But we have seen amazing games with amazing storylines each and every time here at Houston Stadium.
Place in the round of 16 on the line against either Côte d'Ivoire or Norway. Ito down the line. And Japan get the corner. Nakamura looking to steer it into the middle.
All of that comes off a very direct ball and winning the second ball. And we've seen both teams go direct at certain times here today, but Japan will do that as well as Brazil.
Long over, and the header clears the bar by some distance. Wader it was, who's got 2 goals so far at these finals.
He's the talisman. He got up nicely, got his arm over Danilo, which kind of helped elevate him.
15th meeting of these two nations. Brazil, 11 wins. Japan, just the 1. They did actually face each other, though, at the 1996 Olympics, which is an under-23 competition. And Japan were victorious in that one. They called it the Miracle of Miami. And Brazil, in that team, had the likes of Roberto Carlos and Rivaldo playing. Can Japan here summon that kind of spirit to knock out the 5-time world champions, who haven't lifted the trophy since 2002?
24 years ago, at 6 World Cups. That's unheard of for Brazil.
Marquinhos.
One of the men who lifted is in the building here today, Ronaldo.
Stars in the stands, stars on the pitch. Japan have stolen it. Sano driving them forward. Still Sano! A goal! Monaco! Texas to Tokyo! The Eternal Kings! The 5-time champions! The guardians of the game's greatest throne are behind! Kaishu Sano with his first international goal! Japan lead Brazil!
Unbelievable. And what a start for Japan, but this is the moment for Sano. Because Sano, this is not about goal, this is about simply winning a ball, going with conviction, becoming a one-man show, and then striking an incredible finish here. He even got grabbed at the moment he struck that. And this is just straight ahead. Once it gets a goal, it comes off an unforced error. And this is how Japan takes an incredible start here in Houston.
They had it in them.
Yeah, I still think it's amazing, though, with the amount of changes and players that are missing. But I think that is, to your point, the beauty of the system, because everybody can plug into it. But I don't think any of the pundits But I know many of my friends have said that this is an overwhelming win today for Brazil.
Marquinhos. For the second goal this tournament. And Brazil have conceded. Of course, the other one was in their opener against Morocco when they fell behind. And this one here leveled it up for them, Vinicius Junior.
It's just a thrilling start. It really is. And both teams are employing their ideas of how they want to play the game today. But one moment separates it.
And recent history does not look good for Brazil when conceding first. In their last 5 matches when they've gone behind in such circumstances, they failed to win. Not since a victory over Croatia back in 2014. As they come from behind in a position such as this to win. And it's deemed as a foul on Dos Santos. And we're threatening to break away.
Brazil's going to want Douglas Santos to get scored. That's just an ill-timed tackle. Obvious foul. No question. Go on. That is an important set piece here. And Brazil's got targets for sure.
Qatar and Garage, the two over it.
Pretty high line here from Japan. That near post area is something to keep an eye on.
Qatar swings it in. Marquinhos climbing. Didn't get the connection on that. He would have hoped for.
Well, you got good targets with Marquinhos and Gabriel. There's no question about that. This is a look back at the goal, the final moment. Just a beautiful finish here, and you saw it. It's nudged at the last minute. But that's just from picking up a bad ball and going directly to goal. That's as straight a path to goal as you're going to get with a player running with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, great confidence from Sano, who was brought into the starting lineup today. Only made 3 appearances in the qualifying campaign. Vinicius Junior, comfortable for Suzuki.
Yeah, Vinny Jr.'s drifting inside a lot now. And he gets in a really good area here. We know how he can strike a ball. We've seen some of the quality of his goals.
He's the first Brazilian to score in every group game, Vinicius Junior. Ronaldo and Rivaldo did so back in 2002. Gabriel. Straight ball down the middle, thumped away by Taniguchi. Douglas Santos. Cunha of Manchester United. To Danilo of Flamengo. Danilo delivering. Japan not dealing with that particularly well. Vinicius Junior. It comes from Paquetá. Vinicius Junior once more. And there's a crowd scene inside that penalty box. And Ritsu Doan gets out of a tight spot. Junya Ito did not get very far. And Paquetá's ball down the line has too much on it for Vinicius Junior. And Japan breathe again.
Well, Junya Ito was holding on to the ball to try and give somebody time to get in front of it. But we go back to the lone goal of this game, a fantastic one from Sano. And there might be some question there if the Brazilian center backs needed to get out to him a little bit quicker once you've reached midfield. But what a start for Japan.
Well, Vinicius Junior getting a boot on that. Guimaraes now. Cunha. Back for Vinicius Jr. Go on with an important challenge.
And Brazil's starting to heat up, and they're getting guys around the top of the box. Paquetá.
Tomiyasu with an important header there. Now a chance for a Japanese break. Ito being pursued by Paquetá.
Now they can walk it up and kind of get a sigh of relief, but they were under heavy, heavy pressure. And Brazil's press was effective. They were turning the ball over. It was leading to chances. And there was some chaos in that organized Japanese setup.
I've mentioned the year 2002 a lot already today for obvious reasons. The last time Brazil lifted the trophy. It's actually the last time as well since they came from behind to win a knockout match at the quarter-final stage against England. And moving on very quickly from that, here is Lucas Paquetá. Casemiro. Cunha. Gabriel joining in. Guimaraes. Japan continuing to frustrate through their diligent work.
Pretty remarkable, because when Brazil breaks a line with a pass, because the lines are so tight, the ability to recover is always there for Japan. They get pressure on the ball very quickly.
Paquetá, a picture of sheer frustration there. Not happy at all that he wasn't getting any movement ahead of him.
Passing lanes are cut out for long periods here.
There's Cunha. And again, it's a shot from distance. And it's dropped uncomfortably by Suzuki.
Yeah, it wasn't struck well. It's from distance, as you mentioned, and it's going to take something special to beat Suzuki from there. The more this goes on, the more maybe the frustration leads, and it can lead to opportunity in transition, possibly for Japan.
Cunha. Ryan. Gabriel. Douglas Santos over on that far left touchline, getting chalk on his boots, hoping it might just come his way.
Well, he's bringing the width now, so is Danilo, and that's allowing Vinny Jr. to come inside it. It's very, very congested in there. Carlo Ancelotti mentioned in the press conference, the ball has to move quicker.
Vinicius Jr. Casemiro, loose touch from him. Maeda is on his way. He's short on support though just now, and it needs the intervention of Paquetá to hold up his run.
And that's a great point you bring up, because when you're defending this deep, it's hard to get out in transition, and that one player's got to make very good decisions on if he should hold the ball, turn away from pressure, keep going.
This is a position, though, that Japan have been in before in a World Cup match. Back in the 2006 group stage, they were 1-0 up in Dortmund, and Brazil came back to win 4-1.
Brazil didn't go forward there. I don't know if they were waiting for an injured player or what, but that was the time when Japan spread out to really go with real verve and tempo and directness. But now they're settled again.
And there is some frustration coming from the stands as well, as far as Brazil are concerned. A lot of Brazilians here today. But not particularly pleased from what they're seeing from their team in terms of going forward. A real lack of penetration from them at the minute. Everything in front of Japan, they'll be more than happy with that. And they're forced to cross in from deep. Their shots have been from long range. And in terms of carving something out inside that penalty area, it's been nothing.
Well, the real chances aren't there yet. They're half chances at best. These are so difficult. It's so difficult of a team to play against Japan. You almost think your goal has to come off a press or a deflection. They just move in such a beautiful block.
Daniel Ito of Genk in Belgium scored the third goal in that 4-0 win over Tunisia. Also came off the bench to set up the equaliser and the winning goal against Brazil last October. The Japanese number 14 out on the right wing. And receiving it now from Tomiyasu. Doan.
Man's got to be careful here because Vinny Jr.'s isolated one-on-one with the defender. And now with Japan committing forward, if they can win the ball and find an early ball to Vinny Jr., they could be off and running. Samiro's having to play the game differently. His game has been tempered a bit with the yellow card.
Here's the goal scorer, Sano. Ritsu Doan. Ito. 3-2 man in the middle. It was the closest to it. Brazil clear. The Rocky Ito up from the back. Interesting cross. Flicked away by Douglas Santos. Well, Japan, for me, carry a greater threat going forward than Brazil do at the moment, albeit not with great frequency.
Well, that's the difference. Frequency. I mean, Brazil's had 60% of the possession, the territorial advantage, but it hasn't led to as much as Japan's maybe had.
Sano sends sprawling, on it goes. Referee plays the advantage. Nakamura.
Exactly how Japan wants to play. Just have these selected moments, make great use of them, and then suffocate you with just remarkable tight team structure and shape.
Well, lovely play there. It's pick out the final pass. But the way they worked it in from that right-hand side was impressive.
Well, that was a bad giveaway from Brazil again, though, because they had an opportunity to get off in transition. Their passing hasn't been clean at times out of the back, including the one that led to the goal from Sano.
Ranji Kamada of Crystal Palace. Sweeping it over to the right. For Junya Ito. Might have a pop himself here. He did. Guimaraes, he sent tumbling Zakada. Guimaraes frustrated because he was on his way.
This is a professional foul. And if you're Brazil, you're pretty happy here that Bruno Guimaraes has been fouled and that a referee has brought out a yellow card here. He has set a standard for what's going to happen in transition if people are going to try to pull off professional fouls.
Marquinhos. Japan hold firm. And Brazil were expecting a corner. It is not. We are now into a minimum of 4 added minutes at the end of this first period. Both goals in the knockout phase so far have come outside the box. Canada scoring with one very dramatically late in the game yesterday. They'll be coming here next.
Just to dig that out in the corner, that was a ball that looked like it was in possession of Brazil. Just a relentless work ethic. They contest every ball.
Tomiyasu. Will be a Brazil ball. Shake of a throw.
For Tomiyasu, it's only a fifth start for him. You got to wonder what's going on in the mind of that man, Carlo Ancelotti, the first foreign manager ever for Brazil.
They played at the 1990 World Cup. Carlo Ancelotti. Italy came third. Played 90 minutes against England, a match for third place, which Italy won.
And such a revered figure in the game. He's just done it in so many different ways, so many different levels.
He was actually on the coaching staff as well when Italy lost on penalties against Brazil here in the US in the '94 final. So many links, the different strands of the game, Carlo Ancelotti. As I mentioned right at the top, that was his CV is unrivaled, unmatched.
Unbelievable, yeah. That was the '94 Romario Bebeto team. There was a young 18-year-old that was brought on the bench to experience a World Cup named Ronaldo.
What happened to him?
He's here today.
One of many Brazilian legends, Brazilian royalty watching on, but watching the current crop trailing Japan by a goal to nil and struggling to break them down.
For me, Brazil needs to get more width in their game. They need to get more crosses in. They have to spread Japan out side to side a bit more. And now we see bipping up the field, Danilo. That's the ball you need.
Marquinhos. Qatar was the target and hooked away by Junya Ito.
Yeah, I think Danilo's got to take that down and take that wide and try to get to the end line and turn the corner. As opposed to recirculating and a cross coming in at a different type of angle. It's got to be mixed up a little bit.
Brazil have got to play it down at the moment. And Wader, who's been quiet, able to get that one under control.
Nakata's come up limping a little bit.
And that is half time. Japan are halfway there. Halfway to claiming their first ever knockout victory at a FIFA World Cup. Brazil have had all of the ball, but have struggled to break down this resolute Japanese side who lead by a goal to nil. And some strike too from Kaishu Sano. And the Samurai Blue managed to cut through Brazil. And they have the half-time advantage here. Brazil with it all to do at the break here in Houston. Japan, as things stand, will be heading through to the round of 16. They lead by a goal to nil.
So here we go. They're legit. They play winner to go home. This crew hasn't got home in 30 years. Who's up next? To times change, to results today. For real? I know. Hard to believe, right? Who's up next?
to prey on your mind because we can't even begin to believe the intensified pressure that these players have on them.
Three clenches, peak of their powers. 日本代表森保一監督です。ブラジル相手に1対0リードで折り返します。この前半どのように振り返りますか？
そうですね、スタートは相手の圧力にだいぶ押されてしまいましたが、でもそこも想定で選手たちが守るときはしっかり守る、粘り強く守って、自分たちのペースにつなげていこうということを前半やってくれたと思います。
歴史を変えるまであと45分後半です。この後半どんなところポイントになりますか？
この一戦に相手はどこであれ我々が勝って次のステージに向かいたいということを、みんなが志してきたものをしっかり持ち続けて、戦えればと思います。
ありがとうございます。期待しています。
David, qual a sua análise desse primeiro tempo do Brasil?
Jogamos contra un bloco bajo muy organizado, estamos tendo problemas a romper esse bloco baixo, temos que procurar soluções agora no intervalo.
Você acha que as soluções podem estar no banco de reservas já nesse intervalo?
Seguramente vamos precisar de todos, temos trocas muito boas, o jogo é muito longo e vamos procurar melhorar agora.
O cartão amarelo do Casemiro é um problema? Isso pode estar na cabeça para uma primeira substituição?
É jogador com muita experiência, que já está acostumado a jogar com cartão amarelo, vamos ver agora.
Quanto tempo o Neymar poderia ter no segundo tempo em termos de condição física, você sabe?
45.
Obrigado. Well, we've work to do then. When these the numbers at the end of 45 minutes or so of football, what do you make of it?
Numbers Japan would be very happy with, numbers that Japan would expect. We all figured Brazil would have most of the ball in this. It's what Japan does without the ball that is significant in the way they play the game. One shot on goal, one goal has only been 3 overall. I don't think Brazil really has looked dangerous despite territorial domination, passes completed, everything else. But Japan, you made a point during the first half that you thought they were the more dangerous team, and I think they were in attack because it was under very differing circumstances and against a team that was not fully organized defensively. And look, the goal was scored simply off a bad ball and one player with conviction to get the goal.
Now, poor goal as far as Brazil are concerned, in terms of not getting out to Sano and putting more pressure on.
Yeah, I thought the center backs might have made a choice to get out. At some point, you have to make a stand. He was clearly in behind. He had breached the midfield. But I think they saw a midfielder coming who kind of grabbed him when he struck the ball. But yeah, it's a beautiful goal if you're Japanese. It's a bad goal if you're Brazilian.
And a really effective game plan, because to go back to how they've handled Brazil, they've been forced to shoot from distance. A lot of the crosses are coming in from deep. They're making it easy on themselves for how they're lining up and tackling this Brazilian team.
And it's defined the tactics by getting that goal for Japan even further. Here's Vinny. Now, Vinny Jr.'s been outside a lot, but they spent a lot of the half coming inside with Douglas Jr. Coming forward from the left back position. I think Vinny Jr. has to get himself isolated outside with some room. Brazil's got to look to get the ball to his feet often and early, but maybe from a wider standpoint and not coming central because it's just so congested. And one of the points that I made was they're so well organized, Japan, that when a pass breaches one of their lines, they're all right there to recover very, very quickly. You see the final third entries, Brazil's going to have more of them because they have more of the ball, but it's the quality of your final third entries that count.
All right, let's make some noise for today's man of the match,
Welcome back to Houston. Japan, the first team to emerge ahead of this second half. They are in front against Brazil. Now, Brazil will be making a change at the start of this second half. No great surprise. Lucas Paquetá, who we saw hobble off, is going to be replaced by 19-year-old Hendrick.
Well, they're going to hope to get a spark from him because they definitely need one. They've run out of ideas here against an incredibly organized, collective Japan, and everything Japan wanted, for the most part, went their way. I think Brazil's going to have to get into the repress more. They're going to have to try to win the ball and create a little bit more confusion, get a little bit more width in their game. But this is set up for a beautiful second half.
The competition's most decorated nation has 45 minutes to save themselves.
Football man, please welcome back to the pitch.
Raishu Sano with the only goal of the game, really well taken as he drove on from midfield and fired low past Allison. The Japanese may be outnumbered in the stadium here, but they are the ones dreaming of the first knockout victory at a World Cup finals at the 5th attempt. There's confirmation of the change for Brazil, with Hendrick on for Lucas Paquetá. Neymar there still waiting for his moment, perhaps to have an influence on this particular game. Paquetá not moving at all well. He's finally got his boots sorted out, Hendrik. And here he is. Hendrik of Real Madrid, but spent time on loan at Lyon last season. And there has been a clamour in Brazil for him to get more game time, even start games, but Carlo Ancelotti preferred to use him from the bench and listen to the roar for him. So that change has been met with a seal of approval. Let's see what kind of a difference he can make. Back underway then, Japan in the white shirts, going from left to right here in Houston. And with that 1-goal advantage. Well, Hendrik is on to this. First involvement for him. Cunha up there with him, touched up to Ryan. Vinicius Jr. Swirling ball, good handling from Suzuki.
That's why you bring on Hendrik. You got youthful spirit here. You got a young player that's extremely talented. Stage may be set for him to break out, but he can run at people. He can do it in tight spaces. He's a player that's got to try to lift this team now. It also brings into question amazing control. The way down.
Ridiculous, wasn't it? Nakamura. Got a second bite at this one.
Breath away.
It's not a bad ball either. This is Ritsu Duan and hacked away. Douglas Santos. Brazil have only failed to score in one of their last 13 World Cup matches. That was a 1-0 group stage defeat to Cameroon 4 years back. Desperate for one now. Cunha Ito, this one has gone though. Brazil awarded a free kick, much to the dismay of the entire Japanese bench down there.
But Brazil's definitely trying to make this a little bit more of a chaotic game, a little bit more of a high-tempo game.
Gabriel. Vinicius Jr. Good ball, Hendrik. Able to get it under his spell. And Maeda on the search for Japan. What a run this is. He's lost his team a free kick. It's brought about a yellow card as well for Danilo.
Danilo and Casemiro have one. This is obviously to kill off this transitional moment. It's a professional foul. This referee's been very, very good on making sure that people understand somebody breaks out in transition and you grab them, you're picking up a yellow.
Maurizio Mariani of Italy is our referee for this one, incidentally. Hiroki Ito. Safely back to Zion Suzuki, earning his 29th cap for Japan today. 8 clean sheets from 10 appearances in qualifying for the Japanese goalkeeper. Bit of a loose touch there from Tomiyasu, which meant the second one he was struggling to reach.
And Cunha was trying to apply the pressure here. Now they're going to give Japan a free kick.
Japan's 8th goal at this World Cup, which equals the record for an Asian nation. Level now with Korean Republic, who also got 8 in 2002. Oh, nicely done. Casemiro getting a toe on it, and that could break rather nicely for Hendrik. And the pass not up to the required standard.
Fans got to be very, very careful here, especially in this first 15 minutes, to keep their composure. They're finding spaces. Brazil's committing themselves forward.
Maida on the move. Marquinhos unflustered back to Alisson.
Marquinhos is just so good. That was just effortless.
He plays the game as though he's wearing carpet slippers.
There are those defenders that are just effortless and can do things in a different way because they read the game on the next level. He's one of them.
Just the 39 trophies he's won in 13 years at Paris Saint-Germain. Just 39.
Incredible.
Maida to Nakamura. That's a nice touch. But didn't work out. Maida. Brazil back on the attack with Vinicius Junior. Guimaraes. Gabriel. Casemiro. Marquinhos. Danilo.
From central, there's just a block of 6 Japanese players. It's going to be very hard, even with all the talent Brazil has, to play in those tight spaces and break through and break them down.
The fact that they're defending so narrow, does that tell us they're wanting Brazil to go out wide?
It may be, but if you're going out wide and you're getting the ball to the feet of Endrick and you're getting the ball to the feet of Vini Jr. early, I don't find anything wrong with that from an attacking standpoint. He's coming in on his right a lot.
That's a good ball. It's a really good save as well from Suzuki. Guimaraes denied.
Tremendous delivery from Danilo. First really clear chance I think Brazil has had today. It's brought the crowd back. But look at this, just put on a platter here. Timing is there, everything is there. Head meets the ball. And it's a good save from Suzuki.
Has that lit the fuse for Brazil, I wonder? Scooped in again, this time towards Vinicius Junior. Guimaraes.
Brazilian fans are back in it, there's no question.
Vinicius Junior's cut back. Cleared away. Brazil will recycle and build again. Marquinhos.
Vini Jr. did well there to get to the end line. I think that in combination with delivery from an inverted way is the way back for them. It's got to be a mixture.
Brazil raising the tempo now, increasing the pressure on Japan, who are dropping deeper and deeper. Raya. It's deep. Did it cross the line? No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Amazingly, it did not. And now the counter is for Japan. Junior Ito. Maida streaking through the middle. There's others up there as well. Nakamura. And an opportunity wasted. Wow, drama at both ends.
Unbelievable sequence. And Brazil, they teased out the goalkeeper Suzuki and pinballs around the penalty area. Tomayasu blocks it. He doesn't even know he blocked it. This is just an incredible sequence. And then it leads to that transitional moment. But Brazil getting rewarded with coming out here with more vigor, more intent, and more urgency.
Well, luck was certainly shining down on Japan there, that is for sure. And they maintain their 1-goal advantage here. Casemiro. Ryan with Danilo flying up round the back of it. Guimaraes now. Cleared by Doan.
Brazil looks a lot more alive here now. They seem to have woken up.
Real test now of Japan's defensive resolve. Ryan against Nakamura. And again, he's delivered well. They're coming in from both sides, left and right now. Gabriel, that's decent. And stopped it. For the equaliser by Casemiro. Houston sways in yellow and green. The summer has found its rhythm. The carnival has found its heartbeat. Brazil back in business.
Well, you could feel it coming. The irony here is that Casemiro got caught on the Japanese goal by Kashu. Well, he's just equalized. There's no pressure on the delivery. He's outside of the back post. He pulls away from a defender and snaps in the sweetest of headers. Gets up beautifully, times it perfectly. And that is just a blurry orb that flies past Suzuki. But you could feel it coming. Brazil has woken up here. Their fans have woken up. Their energy and urgency is back now.
Well, how the atmosphere in here has changed after that. Did mention earlier on that he's been scoring a lot of headers for Manchester United in the season just gone. There's one for Brazil, one that levels the game in Houston. 8 of his 9 goals in the Premier League last season, headers. And now it really is game on again.
Well, if you're Japan, you got to say to yourself, you started to defend too deep. You had mentioned that. You didn't get any pressure on the delivery. You made it a little bit easy. And the more of those types of balls that were being bent in, there were warning signs prior to it. Cunha had a header that was close.
There is Casemiro, but given away cheaply. That might open the door for Maeda, but he was surrounded. Here's Ryan. Now to Vinicius Junior, puts it through the legs of Tomiyasu. Danger here. Vinicius Junior. And belted over by Cunha. Wow. Brilliant stuff from Vinicius Junior, but left looking at the heavens in frustration.
Just eye-popping. Through the legs, he's gone. You're not going to catch him. And then with the outside of... I think Suzuki got a hand on this. We're about to find out. He did. This is a huge from Suzuki on Vinny Jr. to put that off the post. Because that was ticketed for the lower corner. Spectacular goalkeeping from Zion Suzuki.
The pace, the tempo, the intensity of the game now has got a 2-3-fold, hasn't it?
Yeah, they brought it up another level here. They got their fans back in it now. You could feel it coming. The opening kickoff in the second half, you could just see Brazil looked a different team, ready to do more, and ready to get back in this game.
Here's Wader for Japan. Ritsu Doa. Took it on the spin. Gets away from him though.
Yeah, here's the look at it.
Onside.
Definitely Casemiro's onside. That back post area is a beautiful place to get pull off and away from a defender because their eyes are on the ball. And he just does what he does best.
The right foot of Hiroki Ito playing him onside. Brazilian royalty in attendance today. Ronaldo looking on and feeling much better about how this is going now for Brazil, having seen that Casemiro equaliser.
Yeah, so Japan is rattled a bit now. And they got to see if they can get themselves a little bit more composed here. Because that was an incredible wave of attacks from Brazil. So the obvious handball.
Vinicius Jr. Guimaraes. Thread that one through. Right, the Douglas Santos or Vinicius Jr. that didn't reach either of them.
Yeah, there's just not enough pressure on the ball. But that with or without pressure, this is a beautifully hung up ball at the back post. And look at that leap from Casemiro. I mean, the timing of it, nobody went up with him.
Casemiro, the second oldest goal scorer for Brazil at the World Cup, behind only Bebeto.
Tremendous crossing and finishing. What an example of it. This is good from Japan here now to take a bit out of it.
Duki, who's made 4 saves in the match. Well run from Maeda, making a beeline for goal. Alisson to deal with it.
He's an absolute flyer, Maeda.
Well, that's the thing. They do have a lot of pace at the top of the pitch on transitions. They are deadly, Japan.
That has to be honored, and Brazil's fully aware of it. Now we're seeing Japan trying to get organized and press a little bit higher here.
Oh, Maeda closing that one down from Alisson. Hendrick.
We've seen a few goalkeepers in the World Cup get caught in possession.
Vinicius Jr. Cunha to Guimaraes. Spins away from Maeda. Danilo. Oh, it's all coming together now for Brazil. Ryan. Great skill. Cunha. Ryan delivering. And Suzuki is there. But that was like the Brazil of old when I was growing up.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more of the tricks and flicks and the great combination play and movement and mobility. They're definitely more alive here in the second half, but now it's got their goal. Now it's kind of settled into a period here of measuring each other again.
Well, it looked like one of the standout ties in the round of 32. Delivered, hasn't it?
No question about it. And it's absolutely fascinating.
Maeda. He's got Marquinhos all over him. But he's got away from it. What a ball that is. No flag. Maeda. Junior Ito making his move into the penalty area now, but he takes it on himself and he really hit that. Spilled by Alisson. Really thundered goalwards. It's back in the hands of the Brazilian keeper.
Yeah, it's with tremendous power. It took a slight deflection. It's Alisson's all the way, though. Might wonder if that was the right decision, because he did have some options getting in and around the box. He also liked the fact that he took the responsibility to try and produce a second goal for Japan.
Change on the way for Brazil. Gabriel Martinelli is down there and ready for action.
Can you imagine? Nice sub to have. Nice change to be able to make. Dipping into Gabriel Martinelli.
Vinicius Jr. And Japan are readying changes as well. Hydration break not too far away. Ryan Guimaraes. Vinicius Jr. onto Santos. Steered clear. Japan's goal scorer Sano.
But these crosses coming from wider areas, this has been a real bonus to kind of stretching out Japan a little bit more and creating little pockets of space.
Here's Cunha is off, and Gabriel Martinelli is on. And Japan making alterations of their own here. Yukinari Sugawara will be one of those to be introduced. So will Yunosuke Suzuki. And here's the first to make his entrance.
It's like Dewan's going out as well.
And Nakamura. Those are the two to make way.
But now it's kind of reset to a game where Japan's playing for that moment again. Brazil dominating all the possession.
Hydration break may well come at a good time for Japan, the way this is going at the moment.
This is the Brazil we all expected here in the second half.
Martinelli.
Everything just seems quicker, you know. The ball's leaving their feet quicker. Their decision making's quicker.
Ryan getting much more success down that side as well. Didn't see a great deal from him in the first half, but much more positive in the second. Beautifully poised this now. Casemiro. Ryan again getting the cross in. Martinelli with the outside of the boot. Casemiro, he's spotted Endrick. Slipped away, few appeals for a penalty from behind that goal. And the referee tells Endrick to get back up off the floor.
We had about 60,000 fans also appealing for that penalty as well. I can't give that. He's won the header. A little slight nudge there, but nobody's given that.
Well, it's riveting. We've hit the hydration break. This game got top billing, and it's delivered. Japan in front, Brazil now level. It's game on for a place in the round of 16.
If that was something Carlo Ancelotti wanted to do, and of course we all know he's an incredibly talented player.
Certainly so, of course, Netherlands facing Morocco, but the right to come here to take on Canada. Back underway. Brazil 1, Japan 1. There's the next twist coming from, I wonder.
So the three high players are Ryan, Hendrick, and Vinny. Ryan and Vinny are getting a width here. And you would bet against Vinny in a game like this, although just dispossessed.
So, it's impeded. Get the set piece.
Oh, it's Martinelli. Man possessed here, trying to get back here and go off that transitional moment.
Coming up. Noguchi. Sano. Sent the pass short. Received correctly by Douglas Santos. Danilo carrying Brazil up towards halfway. Guimaraes.
Hendrick.
Good ball. Vinicius Junior. Only one thing on his mind by the looks of this. Into an area where there wasn't a yellow shirt.
That was a rare moment where the entire Japanese team was turned and running back towards their own goal, which we have not seen a lot of tonight. Kept the game for the most part in front of them. That's what they do.
Right.
Focus, the concentration, the intense concentration. Play without the ball like this. Something special that's bad there.
Miscue header, I think, from Ryan, but it didn't take a deflection. It's got behind for the corner.
Well, Japan's living on the edge here. That's the way they conceded their goal, right? That same area is where that delivery came from. And they're going to have to get out the crossers of the ball a little bit quicker. You can't bank on defending. You got to get a few blocks in it. Throw the deliverer up the ball off a bit.
It's the ball delivery now. That's all. Waste, to say the least. We are only looking one way at the moment, Glenn, and that is away to our left. Brazil pushing, Brazil probing. Japan digging in. Marquinhos. Martinelli. Vinicius Junior. Trying to move Japan side to side and expose gaps here.
Well, when you decide to do it, it just has to go quicker. That's the whole idea. You're moving it from one side of the pitch to the other. Well, hopefully you're going to get Vinny isolated or in a place where there's some overloads.
Brazil have progressed from the first knockout round of the World Cup in the last 8 editions. And they're making a ninth here. Vinicius Junior. It's found Endrick. Oh, he just lifted it, expecting Martinelli to have made a move, but he didn't. Such an exciting player though, Endrick, but with Carlo Ancelotti out there on the grid, albeit briefly.
誰が気絶や。
Vinny isolated or in a place where there's some overloads.
Brazil have progressed from the first knockout round of the World Cup at the last 8 editions. And they're making a ninth here. Vinicius Junior. It's found Endrick.
Een shaking show in de verre kant bij ons toe gezwollen, al dus match de koer in bol waterde. Directement au duel face à Gabriel. L'envoi de Japon, remonté dans 2, 3, 4 grands même la carrément.
Très important sur ces situations que le Japon continue de monter le bloc, d'aller presser, d'essayer de récupérer des ballons proches de la surface de réparation brésilienne.
Naka entré en jeu, lui qui était titulaire lors des 2 derniers matchs, tandis que Machino lui fait sa première apparition dans cette Coupe du Monde. L'attaquant de Gladbach en Allemagne. Le Brésilien systématiquement à l'attaque dans la seconde période. Très peu mis en danger. Et Ryan qui espérait obtenir un coup franc. Quasiment 70 000 personnes. Guichet fermé à Houston. Avec des maillots jaunes du Brésil qui portent plusieurs numéros différents parce qu'on a vu les Argentins où il n'y avait que le 10 pour Messi. Là on a des 10, on a des 7, un peu de tout. Et on a Hendrik avec son 10 qui a essayé de se retourner. Bien joué Danilo avec Ryan. Les contre-attaques, elles sont beaucoup moins tranchantes qu'il y a plusieurs minutes pour le Japon maintenant.
Il y a très peu de maîtrise de la part des Japonais qui ont du mal à ressortir le ballon comme ils le faisaient en première période. Les positions ne sont pas forcément bonnes de leur part et ils ont moins de jambes, j'ai l'impression, pour progresser avec le ballon, même sans le ballon. On le voit encore là, une perte de balle.
Danilo. Nous sommes dans les 10 dernières minutes du temps réglementaire. Un partout pour le moment. Le Brésil qui tente, qui ose depuis le début de la seconde période, qui a réussi à égaliser, mais qui, pour le moment, ne parvient pas à aller chercher le but qui changerait tout, qui amènerait vers New York et le 8e de finale. On le rappelle, si jamais il n'y avait pas de but inscrit d'ici la fin du temps réglementaire, nous aurions droit à une prolongation de 2 fois 15 minutes, à l'issue de laquelle, si on en est encore à un score de parité, nous aurions droit, là, à la séance de tir au but, qui n'a pas forcément souri ces derniers temps au Brésil. On aura l'occasion d'en reparler si jamais c'était le cas. Vinicius, l'accélération, comme c'est dur de défendre face à lui. Centre vers Ryan. Et ballon vite dans les pieds de Danilo et de Marquinhos maintenant. Gabriel. Bon geste défensif de Taniguchi. Le danger revient. Marquinhos. Avec Martinelli. De Santos. Vinicius. Jeu de l'autre côté pour Danilo. Pour l'instant, pas de Neymar en vue. Longuement à l'échauffement. Ils sont bouillants, les supporters brésiliens qui en veulent plus. Mais ce centre ne donnera rien. On sent de la nervosité quand même, un peu partout. Gros duel. Bien joué, Darnay. Il n'avait pas complètement suivi derrière. Il avait réussi à caler son défenseur. Gabriel et le Brésil, pour l'instant, toujours dans la compétition. Avec au moment où l'on se parle, la perspective de 30 minutes de jeu supplémentaire. Et tout peut encore basculer, et pourquoi pas, avec un coup de pied arrêté à venir. Le carton pour Junosuke Suzuki qui vient d'entrer en jeu. Défenseur de Copenhague au Danemark.
Là, cette action arrive en retard sur Danilo. Et le Brésil qui va bénéficier d'un coup franc très bien placé.
Et on a un Casemiro qui est chaud sur les ballons aériens depuis le début de la partie. Le trou bâton de nouveau. Pourquoi pas un Marquinhos aussi. Pas évident de défendre là pour les Japonais. Zayon Suzuki, le gardien qui va avoir beaucoup de monde devant lui. Le danger se rapproche. Le danger est imminent. 85e minute à Houston. Le Brésil avec un coup franc. Guimaraes qui feinte. Qui tente, c'est détourné de la tête par Suzuki. Ce sera un corner pour le Brésil.
Là, Ryan qui avait pris la décision de frapper fort. Premier poteau. Ce ballon qui est dévié en corner directement.
Chaque geste est important, chaque décision compte double désormais dans ces derniers instants d'une rencontre à élimination directe. Les Brésiliens vont aller chercher la qualification, les Japonais tous en défense. Ryan, le corner, détourné par Casemiro, on cherchait Martinelli. Ça revient avec Guimaraes, Vinicius. Vinicius qui feinte, qui donne en retrait. Guimaraes l'extérieur du pied, trop long, trop profond, trop imprécis. Martinelli à terre. L'attaquant d'Arsenal, touché dans un duel où est le coude de son adversaire Maeda. Martinelli qui a du mal à se relever. Champion d'Angleterre, finaliste de la dernière Ligue des Champions. On imagine qu'il serait un frappeur de tir au but potentiel si on en arrivait là. Lui qui avait transformé le sien il y a quelques semaines face au PSG en finale de la Ligue des Champions. De Budapest à Houston, il y a quelques milliers de kilomètres. Mais il y a des responsabilités à aller chercher si jamais le score de parité parvenait à aller jusqu'à la 120e minute. On n'en est pas là, on est à la 87e pour l'instant. Et le Japon ne sort quasiment plus de sa moitié de terrain. C'est le cas cette fois aux Japonais d'essayer de bonifier cette rare possibilité avec un très bon appel, une course croisée. C'était signé Maeda, Machino, avec Sugawara. Sano, le premier buteur du match. Pour Machino, le centre, facilement dégagé. Il fallait couper Hendrick, parce qu'on connaît sa vitesse, sa capacité de percussion. Hendrick, là c'était la passe qu'il a choisie vers Martinelli. Aucun risque pris par Suzuki.
Suzuki qui était très bien placé, qui a anticipé cette balle en profondeur et qui arrive à la sortir en touche.
Marquinhos avec Casimiro, 3 minutes encore. Plus l'habituel temps additionnel, bien sûr. Marquinhos, le Parisien vers Ryan. S'est fait secouer. Et ça repart encore avec le capitaine du Brésil. Il en rêve d'aller chercher le trophée à l'issue de cette Coupe du Monde. Trophée déjà remporté aux États-Unis par le Brésil, on s'en souvient en 1994, face à l'Italie, à l'issue d'une séance de tir au but tellement cruelle pour certains. Pour Sabaggio évidemment. Le coup franc encore pour les Brésiliens. Tenir maintenant pour le Japon, pousser pour le Brésil. Aller chercher 30 minutes d'espoir supplémentaire. Bruno Guimaraes, c'était vers Marquinhos. Toujours les Brésiliens avec Vinicius. Martinelli qui a ouvert de l'espace, la frappe de Vinicius, détournée, corner, danger. C'est systématique maintenant. C'est joué à deux. Ryan qui peut centrer. Gabriel qui gagne le premier duel. Gabriel Martinelli, le deuxième. Attention, une passe manquée sur ce ballon. Vinicius, l'intérieur, l'extérieur, toujours avec le ballon dans les pieds, toujours avec l'idée d'aller attaquer son adversaire. Mais il a été parfaitement pris par la doublette Sugawara. Tanaka. Et nouveau coup franc. 90e. Vinicius. Sont nombreux à être encore montés. Suzuki, ça fait du bien.
Une très belle sortie de la part du gardien. Très serein.
Et bien joué aussi ce que vient de faire Machino pour donner à Sugawara. Le Japon tellement peu dangereux au cours de la seconde période, mais avec cette possibilité maintenant le centre de Sugawara. Second ballon pour Tanaka. Aux abords de la surface, à l'entrée du temps additionnel, ce ballon centré très fort. Et il y aura 6 minutes de match de plus avant une éventuelle prolongation.
Il y a encore du temps pour aller chercher la victoire pour les deux équipes.
Alors que Casemiro reste à terre dans la surface, ce serait une très mauvaise nouvelle s'il y avait un pépin physique de plus. On rappelle la sortie tout à l'heure sur blessure de Paqueta. 2 milieux de terrain blessés dans la perspective de la suite potentielle de la compétition. C'est très gênant.
Ce sont des joueurs très, très importants pour le collectif brésilien, que ce soit Paqueta et encore plus Casemiro qui a été décisif aujourd'hui. Et on connaît toute son importance dans ce groupe brésilien.
Et il va être remplacé vraisemblablement par un autre homme d'expérience, ancien champion de France, champion d'Angleterre, vainqueur de la Ligue des Champions, champion saoudien aussi l'an passé, Fabinho, déjà entré en jeu contre le Maroc et contre l'Écosse, et qui va prendre la place de Casemiro pour la fin de ce match. Ancien monégasque, qui joue à Al Ittihad maintenant. Casemiro, l'homme de l'égalisation, qui va quitter ses partenaires et qui aura maintenant 6 jours pour essayer de se remettre sur pattes pour l'éventuel 8e de finale, soit contre la Côte d'Ivoire, soit contre la Norvège. Réponse demain soir avec un coup d'envoi à Dallas entre ces deux formations à 19h heure française. Une équipe très touchée physiquement. Wesley, Rafinha également dont elle appelle. Neymar, on leur a compris qu'il n'a pas une rencontre entière dans les jambes. Il va se mettre vraiment dans les charentaises de Casemiro. Devant la défense, premier relanceur. Domination. Par-dessus, c'était difficile pour Ueda. Ça a failli fonctionner, mais un dégagement finalement de Marquinhos. Tomiyasu, encore. Et on va donner à Hendrik lancé. Va se mettre sur le pied gauche sans doute. Hendrik pour le dribble, l'accélération. Et le corner pour le Brésil. 93e à Houston. Si vous marquez maintenant, vous faites un pas gigantesque vers New York, vers le 8e de finale. Les Brésiliens le savent, eux qui attaquent. Le corner. Fabinho est resté à terre. C'est difficile d'être très précis dans ces conditions-là. Cela risque de raccourcir les marques de la Coupe du Monde prévue entre cette partie et Allemagne-Paraguay, mais ça va nous apporter du football en plus, et on aime bien ça, et on est très content. Même si on imagine que des deux côtés, cette prolongation fait peur, débauche d'énergie supplémentaire, que ce soit physiquement, athlétiquement ou mentalement. C'est dur, hein, une prolongation.
Les prolongations sont souvent des périodes compliquées pour les joueurs, niveau physique surtout, et ensuite garder cette concentration avec la fatigue, c'est pas forcément simple à gérer pour des joueurs.
Et pour ne pas y arriver, il reste à peine 2 minutes. Les Brésiliens qui ont des écrans géants et qui peuvent voir le chrono, aucune surprise en ce qui les concerne, ils sont avec le ballon en tout cas. Gabriel. Marquinhos. Danilo, l'appui sur Ryan. Danilo, pour éviter la prolongation. Trouver Hendrik maintenant. Là, il s'est fait devancer par Tanaka. Bel effort pour la récupération. Contrôle, Guimarães, le pied gauche dans la passe. Et c'est intelligent. Alors évidemment, on va parler de Martinelli, le buteur. Mais la passe avant, c'est un cadeau, c'est une offrande. Et pas qu'à son partenaire, à tout un stade, à tout un pays. Le Brésil, en route vers New York, en route vers le
Et sur les dernières secondes de ce match, Martinelli qui arrive à la mettre au fond.
Le soulagement, la joie, tout ce que vous voulez pour le Brésil et une peine immense pour les Japonais, tellement d'efforts. Et puis, ce moment-là qui fait la différence.
Quelle passe de Guimaraes, quelle passe! Et l'enchaînement rapide de Martinelli qui arrive à la mettre au fond, à bien la placer. Et le gardien ne peut pas la sortir, arrive à la toucher légèrement. Mais ça finit quand même au fond.
Au bout du temps additionnel, au bout du match, et avec un bonheur immense pour le Brésil, 213 millions d'habitants, à peu près autant dont le cœur bat pour cette sélection à Henri Verdet. Changement à venir des deux côtés, mais il ne reste quasiment plus rien comme temps de jeu. Donc, l'apparition d'Ogawa pour le Japon. Gabriel Martinelli, le buteur. Alors que Bruno Guimaraes, le passeur, va céder sa place à Danilo Santos. Pas certain qu'il ait le temps de toucher le moindre ballon. Danilo Santos, alors qu'on a déjà dépassé les 7 minutes de temps additionnel, il y a eu 3 minutes de joie à peu près pour les Brésiliens et on peut les comprendre. Coup d'envoi maintenant, il n'y a plus le choix là pour le Japon pour espérer l'égalisation. C'est tout de suite, ou jamais. Suzuki, le gardien, très long, à la retombée. Des duels, une bataille et la tête de Fabinho pour soulager les Brésiliens. Une possibilité ou pas? Et voilà, à l'attaque les Japonais avec un dégagement et une touche, encore. Ça n'est pas fini, pas encore le soulagement absolu pour Neymar et les siens. Danilo pour la touche. Danilo, loin, très loin. Pas encore à New York, mais bientôt. Oh, il a sifflé juste avant que Martinelli chipe le ballon et se projette vers l'avant.
Il aurait pu laisser l'avantage.
Mais il n'avait pas senti le coup. Il n'avait pas vu arriver Martinelli. Alors qu'on revoit avec la caméra fixée sur l'arbitre ce moment clé. La passe véritablement décisive de Guimaraes.
Tout le monde pensait qu'il allait sûrement frapper du pied gauche, mais il avait vu Martinelli très bien placé.
Sa 4e passe décisive déjà dans cette Coupe du Monde à l'ancien Lyonnais. On dégage loin, on frappe haut pour le Brésil et on essaie d'aller attaquer une dernière fois pour le Japon. Par-dessus, vers Shutomashino, il va devoir se battre face à Marquinhos qui ne demandait qu'à être touché pour tomber. Le Japon qui décidément n'y arrive pas en match à élimination directe en Coupe du Monde. Pour l'instant, il a toujours été éliminé dès la première rencontre après la phase de poule. Les Nippons. Frustration pour le coach Moriyasu, déception pour les supporters et satisfaction pour Bebeto, pour Ronaldo, les légendes, les champions du monde. Ensemble en 94, tout seul entre guillemets pour Ronaldo en 2002. Alisson Becker, loin, le plus loin possible pour espérer continuer. Suzuki, 100e minute. Encore une tête japonaise. Un dernier ballon, peut-être. Avec Danilo Santos pour dégager loin, pas assez, ça revient. Et là, c'est en touche, ça fait du bien pour le Brésil. Il fait durer le plaisir. Maurizio Mariani, l'arbitre italien. On avait prévu 6 minutes, on en est à 10 minutes 30 de temps additionnel.
réaction.
La très longue touche. Jouée là, une tête brésilienne. Et un coup de sifflet final de cette partie qui est à l'image du football. Tellement belle pour le Brésil, tellement cruelle pour le Japon. Les hommes de Carlo Ancelotti auront lutté jusqu'au bout et sont allés chercher leur qualification. Victoire, succès, 2-1 contre le Japon.
Victoire méritée de la part des Brésiliens qui sont allés, bien évidemment, chercher cette victoire, cette qualification, qui ont montré un tout autre visage sur cette seconde période et ont réussi à passer devant dans les derniers moments de ce match. Félicitations à cette équipe japonaise qui progresse, évolue et a encore un peu de mal à arriver au niveau de ces grands comme le Brésil.
Le Brésil, 5 fois champion du monde et qui a tellement envie de regoûter au plaisir de soulever le trophée. Ce serait Marquinhos dans cette soirée où l'Allemagne va aussi avoir envie de se qualifier. Coup d'envoi à 22h30, 22h20 pour la prise d'antenne depuis Boston, mais le foot va pas s'arrêter d'ici là. Hein. On va continuer à débriefer cette rencontre avec le Brésil qualifié avec l'équipe de France et puis avec Ophélie Meunier. Bien sûr, le Mac qui va avoir du temps pour revenir sur tout ça. C'est à vous, Ophélie.
Merci Julien Brand, merci Samuel Umtiti. Quel match, quelle fin de match on vient de le vivre avec vous, le Brésil qui décroche sa qualification en huitième de finale face aux Japonais 2-1 dans les toutes dernières secondes. Le soulagement brésilien, on l'a vu dans les images, est aussi immense. Déception japonaise, on débriefe dans un instant avec vous et avec toute l'équipe. On se préparera aussi à l'autre 16e de finale de la soirée, Allemagne-Paraguay. C'est à 22h30 sur notre antenne. Et bien sûr, on prendra des nouvelles des Bleus.